Hello everyone, and this is the start of a custom minifigure display stand for my Ikea Besta glass cabinet. This is one of the slimmer ones that I have. It's probably more, it's meant for the wall, but I have it standing on another Besta full-size cabinet. So I've got lots of uses for these Besta cabinets, especially these thin ones, and what I intend to do with this one at the moment is use it as a minifigure cabinet or case with custom stands that I build out of Lego. And most of my figures go into frames that I build, the Ikea frames. This custom stand that I'm building now is for my overflow collection, if you like. So for figures that I don't actually have a place for. So as and when I have extra figures, I'm just going to whack them in the Ikea cabinet on the stands. So this is the start of the stand that I've made for the top shelf. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to keep the arches at the back there, but I will probably keep all the rest of it, which is quite simple. But obviously this is just the start, so it will continue along the full 60 centimeters, I think it is. So yeah, let me just twist this round and show you how I'm constructing it. I've just literally got plate at the bottom. I've got these supports here, which you can see, those pieces. And I've used one of these pillar support, but I've used one of them. I will continue them along probably, unless I find a better piece to use for that. The minifigures are just completely random at the moment to show you how it's going. I've run out of pieces, so I am expecting bricklink orders to finish off the display. Let me show you shelf number 2. So here we go, shelf number 2. I've got 2 colours here. Obviously with the first one I wanted to use black. The idea is the next shelf down, this one, I will use dark grey, dark bluish grey, and the final one, the third one, I will use light bluish grey, just to give it a bit of a different look, not really any particular reason. So I've got extra black here just because I don't have any more grey, and I'm waiting for bricklink orders as usual. I'm going for a different design on this one, and although there's 2 different things, I was experimenting, but I actually prefer this look better, so that's what I'm going to go for these. And obviously at the back here, these will all be grey as well, and that'll be where it finishes and goes all the way along. Let's have a look as we twist it round. I haven't built any supports. I will have to build supports to keep the whole thing stable, but it is just a start and to give you an idea of how I'm building it. So that is the stand for the second one. Let's look at the third and last display. So here's the third display for the minifigures. This is in the light bluish grey, and I had a bit more of this to complete a bit more of the actual stand as I went along. I'm still waiting for lots of these slopes to come in, these 2 different types here, and some more of the masonry bricks to finish off this whole stand in total. I've used lots and lots of my old sun damaged bricks, random colours, filthy bricks at the bottom. Well, not filthy as in dirty, but they look filthy because they're sun bleached. The same at the back, although I have tried to keep it all the same grey because I don't know why, but I just think it looks, I still want to look at it and quite enjoy it, looking at all the same. And the same with the sides. It's quite a simple build, but it just takes time and it takes an awful lot of bricks. I have questioned my wisdom on it, why I'd want to do this and use so many bricks on just such a, you know, something that you could make it out of another material. But at the end of the day, I like looking at Lego, even in this simple stand form, and I can always break it down and make something else at the end of the day with all these bricks. They're quite common and useful bricks. So yeah, I thought, why not? So anyway, let's have a little look at the completed product. Well, people, I finished the display stands. I finally got my arse in gear. got my Bricklink orders in, got my double points on all the many pieces I have to order from Lego. I believe they come from Poland. When you order the common pieces from the Pick a Brick wall online. So yeah, it is done, and wow, it took an awful lot of bricks and it took an awful lot of time. Let's dive into it and I'll show you each stand individually. So this is the top tier. These are obviously going into this this white unit, this Besta wall unit, this black staircase stand, if you like, with the arches. This is on my top tier. So I decided to do all these stands in different colours, quite neutral still. So you've got the black, the dark bluish grey and the light bluish grey. I was originally going to make them all in the same colour, but I thought it was a bit too, I wouldn't say boring is the wrong word, but I would say a bit too plain. So I come up with the idea of doing them in different colours, or yeah, different colours, still neutral. That'll still help show off the figures to their full potential. But I still wanted it to be interesting enough as a piece on its own. Not that you look at the stand overly too much, but at the end of the day, I was putting some time and effort into it and I wanted to make it look really good. So if there's gaps, you will see the stand through the figures. So I think it makes sense to build something that you're going to be happy with looking at. So I added these extra translucent tiles in. They're just decoration, purely decoration, and I've done all the stands slightly different, and there is a reason to that, which you will see at the unveil at the end with the figures on. And also this top tier is the only one that I put the arches on. The arches, why did I do it on this one? Just because the top tier, it kind of needed it, and I don't know why it needed it, but it needed something at the top. I could have added more to the other two down below, but for some reason it was definitely the top one that looked like it needed something extra up there. That come up quite nice if you ask me. It took quite a while working out all the sizes to get in, making sure the minifigures are equally spaced apart. They weren't lopsided one side the end of each stand, but eventually it worked out pretty good with 5 figures up. Actually I haven't counted across how many figures, but I will work that out by the end of this video. The back of the stand is quite a simple construction, as you can see. I used obviously all the stair pieces. I used these pillar supports randomly. As you can see, I've got a bigger gap there. I think I've got the same gap there and there. Just kind of put them in where I felt they needed it, as long as they were roughly spaced apart, because you don't actually see it from the front. And I wanted to make sure that they held in, because I was using lots of smaller plates. I wanted to sometimes, as much as I could, where the joins of the plates were, to give it a bit more stability. Here I added lots of extra plates again, just to close down those seams so it doesn't fall apart when you pick it up. I have lots of those what do you call them, supports inside, as I can show you as much as I can. There we go, and nice and easy to see there. And I added extra plates just to strengthen up various parts here and there. All along there is extra little plates, one width. So yeah, it's come out pretty good. Next up we have the middle tier in dark bluish grey. I wanted to use these inverted and sloped pieces. What are they, 2x4 I think they are, and I needed an awful lot of them. So I had to do a online Lego order, and I picked it at a time that you could get double points. So I mean, each piece was anywhere between 10 and 15 pence each. So it really did add up at the end of the day. But I think overall the effect was well worthwhile. I looked at a couple of different designs, some thicker pieces, which obviously would have cut down the amount of pieces that I would have needed, but I just liked that design. I kept coming back to this alternate, using these two pieces alternate. I just kept coming back to that design. I really liked it. I used up so much of my discoloured Lego inside there to give it a stable interior. Not that you'll ever see in the interior, but that's the point. I used up all the rubbish in there. It's all genuine Lego, but all stuff I wouldn't use anywhere else really, apart from just building up solid pieces like this. There's a few discoloured pieces here and there that are on show, but I tried to keep them off show as much as possible. You might be wondering again about these dots and cones. Basically, actually, I will leave that reveal to the end. Some of you might guess already. You'll see why I've done. We've got purple up to here, and then we've got orange for the rest. But yeah, I will show you more of that, or reveal more of that at the end with the figures on. Show you the end. You can see lots of discoloured pieces there, but again, all still dark bluish grey. Had a Technic piece there, but let's just call it a weep vent or something like that. Another little weep vent or air vent. And wow, when you look at it from the back, not that you're ever going to see the back, but it is a solid piece. And I could have left lots of gaps in it, but I actually wanted to make it as solid as I could. That was how I done it. You can see the plates here from each section. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the bottom. So yeah, 5 figures, 5 plates for all the different levels. Let's turn it back around. The design of that, really, the uniformity and shapes, I thought really gave it a good look overall. Again, there's only so much of this you'll actually see through the figures, but when there's a gap, you'll definitely see it. And I can see it now when I look with figures on. I haven't filled them up with figures yet. So when I do the reveal with the figures, it will be the first time I see all 3 stands with full figures on. I've done a few here and there, but I'm looking forward to getting this thing filled up, and getting the whole cabinet filled up, actually. It's been a thing that I've worked on. It's been, should I say a labour of love? Yeah, a labour of love that I've worked on for many, many nights and waited a long time for the orders to come in to finish each stand off. So hopefully it's going to be worth it when I see them completely filled up with figures and in the cabinet. Let's move on to the last stand. Here is the last stand in light bluish grey. Was this the most difficult one? Maybe. It definitely took the most parts, and I needed an awful lot of masonry bricks and these slopes here, the 4x3, I want to say. Yeah, 4x3, because you've got a masonry brick above it. It was a mission. The other thing with the last 2 stands, the bottom 2, is that they took an awful lot of pushing together. Even now I keep seeing parts that aren't quite pushed down, and it's really hard when you're building a big solid object like this to get all the studs pushed together well, and if you don't, they just keep falling apart. So that's the joy of Lego, I guess. I'm not sure whether Lego bricks were actually meant to be pushed together in such a big format like this. I mean, obviously they all fit together as they should do, but it takes an awful lot of pressure on your fingers and hands, and I was finding my hands were very sore after doing a big session with these. The joy of getting it coming together as each level come together and was solidly finished off, I thought it was really, yeah, it made me want to keep continuing. So overall, together, I'm not sure, probably better than I thought it would come together. And yeah, I'm really happy with the finished effect. Again, I've got discoloured bricks here and there. I can see them. You probably can't see them quite so well on camera. You probably can see that frontal bit there. I'm not overly bothered. Again, you won't see it in the cabinet and it filled up with figures. You just won't notice it, even if you can slightly see it. And I'm happy with that. When you think of all the discoloured stuff that's inside in the middle of that block, the odd little bit that I've got showing there is not bad at all. So let me show you the sides and the back. Yep, some discoloured stuff. I can still see bits that are not pushed down. I was literally smashing some of these with my hands and my fists. Maybe I need a little rubber mallet just to give it a little tap here and there. But overall, it is joined together as well. Well, not as well as it can be, but definitely enough to keep it together. So yeah, it's a nice pretty sight, isn't it, from the back? You won't be seeing the back very much at all, and that's the second time I've done that with those cones. But let's show you some close-ups. Yeah, now you can see a couple of slopes that are discoloured. So that is the bottom tier of the stand finished. Here we go. Let's start at the bottom this time, working our way up. So this is the light bluish grey tier, and it is full of clones. We have the 501st and Ahsoka's clones. 187th, is it? Anyway, you know what I mean. Ahsoka's clones and the 501st, or they are all 501st. I think they look really good on this base, the uniformity of it all. I need more. I have more 501st. I have more of lots of clones actually, but they're packed away because I am moving. I've only just got this room done and I am moving. It's a necessary evil, so hopefully eventually I will have an even better room. But yeah, enough said about that at the moment. Let's just concentrate on the positives, and the positives are I've finished these display stands, these built Lego display stands, and I think they're looking rather spiffing, especially this one here with the 501st. So let's move on to the next one. So here we are with the second tier, which is the dark bluish grey slopes and inverted slopes. And we have more clone troopers. We have Mace's Legion, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi's Legion, we have some Geonosis clones, some Kashyyyk clones, Spark troopers, I think they are. We also have some Mandalorians filling in for clones, as we don't quite have enough Phase 2 clones to fill up this display stand. We have Commander Fox and none of his shock troopers, because as I'm filming this they haven't quite come out in paper bags, and I haven't bought the new battle pack or the Republic gunship with the shock troopers in. The Coruscant Guard gunship, I haven't bought that yet. Over time I will add. I want to do quite a few shock troopers, at least a quarter of one of these stands at some point. And over time, I will build up all these legions. Maybe a legion to each stand would look pretty cool. I'm just trying to get them on there in an order that looks pretty good for you to see. Also, you can see the Jedi Masters in there and amongst them. And I forgot to tell you from the last stand, I can't find Anakin Skywalker anywhere. I do have him, but he's probably packed away. Let's move on to the last stand. So this is what I originally intended these stands to be full of: overflow figures, random figures that I didn't have frame cases that I buy from Ikea. I didn't have them ready for some figures, so any figures that weren't going in frames at this point were going to go onto these stands as an overflow display. But In the meantime, I really liked the idea of building up the armies on these stands. The uniformity of how they all display looks really good. I see many people display their armies on flat base plates, which is an obvious way of displaying them. And although they look good, I don't think they look as good as they could be. So I prefer this tiered effect. I know many people display in cases, all sorts of cases, but actually there's something nice about creating your own display, especially for me now. Now I started it with the Lego. As expensive as it is, I think that it just works really well. This one here has got some real random figures in. We've got, I'd started to build up a collection of the Hoth figures for a Rebel Hoth case, because I already have done an Empire one for the snowtroopers, etc. As you can see, the top two lines are basically Rebel Hoth people minifigures. We've got some Ahsoka figures, we've got Sith Trooper, we've got quite a few Return of the Jedi figures. We have some, on the bottom line there, we have some Empire Strikes Back, Cloud City, a couple of the Bounty Hunters, some Mandalorian Raiders, Gar Saxon, the Rebel Troopers from the Tantive sets, and some Scout Troopers there. So yeah, a real mishmash of minifigures there, but again, displaying them like this, you can put whatever you like this. It doesn't have to be in order. It's just that I actually now prefer to put things in order, and that even if they are figures that aren't army builders, I actually kind of like putting them in sequence, whether it's film or Clone Wars or something like that. So just to keep them in some sort of uniform display. I had nearly forgot this piece, putting the stands back in the cabinet and showing you the full effect. But anyway, I did remember right at the last knock-in, so here it is. I also told you earlier in the filming that I was going to count them up, and I have, and there's 80 to a stand, so 16 on each row, 80 to a stand, 240 to the whole cabinet. If you want to display 240 minifigures in a Besta cabinet, what better way to do it than this? I hope you like the look of that, and let's just see if it makes any difference with the door open. There we go, so you can see how they fit in there. If you like what this filming has shown you, or shown me building over this time, and the finished effect, then as I said, please leave any comments down below. Please like, please subscribe, as I'm sure hopefully you will be doing, and hopefully we will see you again here on the channel with something else I've built in another video. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Cheers everyone.